Retivis. Retivis radios. Are they any good? Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out to click on and watch the videos. Right, today's video is range testing the Retivis, I think it's Retivis walkie-talkies, the new ones I've got in the shop. Now the plan is today is to take these out on the hills, about 3.5 kilometers from the house, and give these a good range test. Then I'm going to come off the hill once the range test is done, and then come a bit closer to home, and then mark out on a map, on a local map, where I can receive the radios from the home base, just so I can get a better understanding of their range. But before we go out and do the range test, we'll just have a quick run through the radios. Now I have used the Retivis radios before. Last year they sent me these for a bit of a test before stocking them. There's the link. But unfortunately the test was very good, but they stopped making this design, so yeah, it was a bit of a waste of time really. And since then I have been selling Bofangs, but yeah, some of the suppliers have dried up on them, so I've reached out to Retivis again and chose a few radios to try out and to sell in the shop. Now I don't get sent these for free, but I do have to buy these in. But the brand themselves I have tried before, so I know I'm going to get a good radio for what I think is a very good value. Now I know there's better quality radios out there, cost a lot more money, but not everybody can afford the top quality military grade radios. And what's the point in a radio when these can do the job? And that goes with other gear as well. Yeah, you get a lot of people out there who scoff at cheaper gear, whether it's equipment, clothing, or whatever it is. Kit snobs, I call them, will scoff at the cheaper alternatives, where they themselves usually get sent the gear for free. It's right scoffing at it or turning your nose up at it.
Hey, quit your scoffing, all right?
When you don't have to pay for it yourself. Here, I try and cater for everybody and try and get good quality stuff which people can afford. But let's not dive into that too much. Let's have a look at these radios. So Retivis themselves, they do a massive range of radios, ham radios, you know, the PMR radios, right through to scanners, all sorts. But I just chose a few radios come in the shop, what I think people would find, you know, of use. So I've gone for the RT24 and the RT622. Now I chose these two radios to start off with in the shop, together with the ham radio. And these two especially because they've got 16 channels pre-programmed in, they're easy to use and they're license free. Plus, like I say, they come in at what I consider as an affordable price. Let's have a look at the RT622 first. So like I say, you get two radios, walkie-talkies, PMR, so no need for any license, 16 pre-programmed channels, plus they come with a clip, belt clip, webbing clip, and charger cables. Plus there's other accessories you can get, like hands-free. But the beauty of these ones, I think, is they're so lightweight, so small, put them in your pocket, like I say, clip them to your webbing, and they're easy to use. So you just turn them on.
Power on.
You've got a channel selector on the side.
7, 8, 9.
Slightly Chinese voice, but it doesn't matter.
Speak Chinese like a native.
And then you push to talk on the side. And on the other side, you've got your ports for your headphones and microphone, or your hands-free, plus support for the USB charger. The power on switch is also the
Power
volume.
on. 6.
And that's basically it. That's all you want. Just turn it on,
Power on.
select your channel, and talk, isn't it? Easy peasy. So in the box as well, you do get the user's manual, and you've got all the frequencies of the pre-programmed channels, and a list of all the accessories you can get. So that's the RT622. So you get two radios for under 30 quid. Let's have a look at the bigger one. So this is the RT24. Again, you've got the owner's manual. There's a bit more to this radio. You can scan with it. You can use, you've got Vox control as well, but you do have to program it. So, but you can get all the programming software. You can get all the accessories online. But in the box, you get the two radios. You get your belt clip or webbing clip, and you get your charge stations, all USB. But again, I chose these because easy to use. So you've got your
6.
Your volume control and your on-off switch. You've got your channel selector.
5, 6, 7.
On the side, you've also got your ports for your hands-free, headphones, microphone, whatever you want. And on this side, you've got your PTT, push to talk. And that's it. Like the other ones, the RT622s, easy to use. And that's what you want, isn't it? You don't overcomplicate things. But for this one, like I say, you can use Fox control. You can scan and upload more frequencies if you've got the program to do it. I'm not going to bother. 16 channels, walkie-talkie, that's all you really want, isn't it? So that's it, guys, about the radios. I'm not going to go into it too much. I just want to do a range test, really. If you do want some more information about the radios, I'll put the link in below. But for now, let's chuck these in a bag. Chuck the bag in a truck with myself and the dog, get on the hills, and we'll do a range test.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you know.
Right, so just coming top the hill. You've got Brecon Beacons just behind me. Then you've got Mount Epping, or Sennybridge training range to some. And you can just see the Canterbury Mountains just down there. And then just in that bit of a distance is Bill, just down in the dip. So can't quite see home from here, down in the dip. So we're going to get on top of the hill up here and hopefully get a signal for the radios. So let's go. Right, we made it to the testing location. It's not quite at the very top of the hill, but I picked this location because it's in direct line of sight to our woodland. Can't quite see the house, but you can see the electric pole, which is like 50 yards from the house. House is in a little bit of a dip. So let's give it a first test. Distance is about 3.5 kilometers, so it's on the maximum range of these radios, but let's give it a go anyway. Bug out 1, calling home base. Do you receive? Over.
Receiving loud and clear, over.
Okie dokie, out. So there we are, it's a good test for that radio. Loud and clear. I say we are more or less direct line of sight, but it's over the 3 kilometers, about 3.5 kilometers. So let's try the smaller of the two radios.
Power on. 6.
The antenna's not as long as this one, so I'm not expecting great things of this. Let's say it's about 3.5 kilometers, so I think we could be just out of range, but we'll try it. I'll turn on maximum volume. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over.
Receiving loud and clear, over.
Well, there we are, guys. I was quite surprised at that. Let's say we're about 3.5 kilometers. Yes, we were more or less direct line of sight, not totally, but more or less. But yeah, that come through really well. A little bit of background noise in it, but yeah, for a small radio, you know, compact, small antenna, it can fit in your pocket. It's got a clip that can go on your webbing or your shoulder straps. But yeah, both radios, they've done the job, didn't they? Now I'd say it can probably go a little bit further back, and I'll try a few tests on the way home in the vehicle when we're down in the dips and we've got a bit more terrain to interfere with the signal. So, but all in all, for this range, 3.5 kilometers, a very good test, and they've done well. Hooray! Right, you've just come off the hill. There it is. Just up there. We're a bit closer to home, but we've got more terrain, woodlands and all sorts in the way of the signal, but we'll give it a test anyway.
6.
Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over. No, so that's a fail. When I say we're in different terrain now, we've got woodlands, we've got houses, we've got hills all in the way. So that's going to interfere with the signal. But I'll push on a little bit closer until we get a signal. It's good to know your limitations of your equipment. It's not good taking it out there and expecting it to work everywhere. So good test. That's what it's all about. Right, let's push on. Right, we come to a location just up the road from home. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over. Well, just about picked the signal up then. Let's try the bigger one. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over.
Just about. Very, very crackly.
So there we are. Bit better with this one. Obviously it's got a larger antenna. So let's go and try another location. Right, different location, but this time we're down in the dip, so I'm not expecting too much. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over. No, nothing on that one. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over. Yeah, a little bit of noise here, but not very successful test, that one. Let's try another one. Right, we're just on the outskirts of the woodland of our property, so we should get a good result in this one.
Power on. 6.
Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over.
I can hear you. Over.
Right, that one works.
6.
Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over.
Receiving you. Over.
Roger that, out. Well, there we are. 2 successful tests for them radios. Right, let's push on to another location. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over.
Receiving you. Over.
Well, there we are. That one worked. A little bit crackly, but it did work. Let's try the smaller one. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over. No, I think it's just out the range of this little one. So I'll just mark the results on the map. I've got one more location to go to, and then it should be job done. Right, last location, just on the outskirts of town. So we're in a bit of a dip, and there's obviously buildings about. But let's give it a go. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over.
Receiving you. Over.
Right, we've got through that time, but a bit crackly again. It's probably just on the range of it. So let's try this small one. Bug out 1, calling home base. Are you receiving? Over. No, so nothing on the small one. Obviously the range is a lot shorter for the small radio, especially in a built-up area or when you've got things disrupting the signal. But this one worked. So that's it for the test. I'll plot the results on the map, then I can see then roughly the extent of the range of the radios. That's it, we're back at home base after doing the test, and all in all, yeah, very impressed. For a relatively cheap radio, yeah, they've done the job. So the test itself, we had one of these at home in the house when testing these, and obviously one in the car, and then obviously one of these in the house as well, testing this. So it wasn't just one radio at home, we alternated between the radios just to make sure it's a proper test for the range. Now as for the test in town and the surrounding area, as you can see on the map, I've marked out where the RT24 was successful and then drawn a dotted line just to give a rough coverage area where I know these will work. Now for the RT622s, obviously the range wasn't as much, but the difference in the antenna is obvious, isn't it? So obviously it's not going to go as far. But I have marked out on the map where the RT622 did work, and again I put a circumference around that so I know that area these radios will work. I've also marked on the map some red dot marks, obviously where neither of the radios worked. Now these tests in town, they were affected by the undulation of the ground, obviously trees, buildings, all interfering with the radio signal. So you know you're not going to get the maximum range. But when we did do it on the open ground up on the hills, yeah, a good 3.5 kilometers. Probably could have pushed it a little bit further, but yeah, a good 3.5 kilometers for both radios. So that was a good test. So what can I take away from the test? Obviously knowing the range of the radios, But also know these are very good on a short range, perhaps a neighbourhood patrol. These obviously for a bit further. Now you could get more expensive radios, digital radios, military grade radios, but you're highly unlikely ever to be in a situation where you need to use them sort of radios. So that's it, guys. That's the little radio test. Pretty pleased, like I say, fantastic indirect line of sight, and all in all, a successful test. If you do like the videos, please think about liking, subscribing, hit the notification bell. If you want to see some more videos, check that one out, and that one, and I'll catch you again next time. All the best.